What's happening, fam? It's your boy, Prophet, the jeweler, your jewelers, man. Back with some gems for hires and for hymns. We gotta tap into this question. The question being, is America the greatest country? Is it better than other countries? And if you say yes, please think of some reasons why you say yes and leave them in the comment section. Me, I think America is a great country. I think it's a lot of room for improvement. I feel like, as far as morals, values, and principles, we are by far one of the worst countries. I think we are a bad example to other countries when it comes to principles, morals, and values and things of high standards. We don't really have that here in America. Our economy decent, you know what I'm saying? The infrastructure is decent, but when it comes to things like morals, principles, and values, we suck. I mean, we are a bad influence. I see us rubbing off on other countries in certain ways, and I see how their people are changing due to being influenced by America. I think America is a bully as far as a country. I think it's a bully. I think it, of course, picks and chooses its fights. I feel like it protects countries that don't deserve to be protected, such as Israel. I feel like America allows them to be like the little bad kid who goes and punches on the next kid, and then when that kid retaliates and punches them back in self-defense, then they like to hide their hand, and play victim. Everything's always the Holocaust, but yet they can shoot, kill whoever, right? But oh, don't worry about that. What we did, just remember the Holocaust. Remember. But then yet, black people like me, thinking about it, we get told to forget slavery. Oh, that wasn't us. That was our great grandparents and this and that. We don't have anything to do with it. But then you turn around in the same breath and tell me to remember the Holocaust. Man, F the Holocaust, you know. But I feel like we defend countries that shouldn't be defended. I feel like we provide for other people's children before we even take care of those within our own household. I feel like it's a lot of homeless people, a lot of people in need here in America who need assistance, who are not getting that assistance, and we could be assisting them, but yet we send our funds over to the bully countries, to places like Israel, right? We send all that money to Israel. We send money to a lot of countries, and a lot of money is spent dumb that we send over to other countries, and it's for motives that are just dumb, man. Like what I was just saying, that the low frequency, no low standard, no principle, the principle, morals, and values of America is just the planet shot down. And I mean, I think America moves on wickedness. It thrives on wickedness, and what quote, the darkness, the evil side, right? I think that's what fuels America and assists America with staying up and high, right? In position as far as the countries, speaking of countries. But I think like we don't take care of our own, but yet we send out all our money out to others. I feel like we provide our people with the worst food. The worst food. I think it's a whole agenda to kill us. I think that they want to depopulate us. I think that they know how horrible the food is, and they've been knowing, but they continue to let us eat that, and because it kills us, and it helps the pharmaceutical companies, the Rockefellers and all those people of power. They put money in the government's pocket to look the other way so that we can get sick, so that they can give us their prescriptions, so that they can thrive and their family can thrive and be rich. You know, um, so I think that we take care of others. One, I think that our healthcare system is trash. I think our food is trash. That's free. I think that we try to push darkness onto other countries. We got a whole campaign in other countries where they fund them to push, like gay pride and stuff like that. So I don't agree with none of that shit. I mean, if you do it, that's on you. But me personally, I think anybody with a brain should be able to see that that's wrong, because if we all were gay today, the world would stop within 100 years. No one would exist. It would be extinct of human beings. So obviously, this is it's something that's not right about it. And I'm not even going into any biblical text, any Quran, nothing like that. It's just like, with me, it's observation. Looking at the world like that seems stupid. It doesn't make any sense. It's like, if I see that I cut off one hand and it's hard to function with one hand, I kind of it's kind of easy to make the come to the conclusion to say that if I cut off my other hand, it's going to be very difficult. Observation, it's a powerful thing, right? They use it in science, right? But going back to America, I think that we are targeted. I think that we are not citizens, but yet we are slaves of this country. You know, People say, "Oh, you can pick up and leave whenever you want." Not everybody's in a position to where they can pick up and leave. Just pack up and leave and go to wherever they want. That's not feasible for most people. Most people are not in a position to do that. But I think that this country has made us slaves. I think that everybody's indoctrinated with this communism. I think that everything's about a dollar. I think the government could do a lot better, even dealing with food and money and everything. It can help us if they allotted so many acres in every state to be put towards growing food. And then maybe the states could barter. Y'all good with all the oats. Let us get some of your fruit. Let's get us some of your peaches, your oranges. Y'all good with greens, stuff like that. Let us trade you for some peppers. We could barter amongst states, right? And that would help everybody to be able to lower the cost of feeding their families. It would be able to have the opportunity to have healthier food if they put regulations in place to say, okay, stop with the pesticides. We want seeds in all of our foods. We want it to go back to the original, the organic way, right? I think that it's a lot of points where America could be made better, but the people who are in power will have to be taken down. We have to restructure our government. I don't think that the Republican and Democrat Party is for the people. I think they're for themselves and whoever's going to lace their pockets. I think we need a whole different structure as far as our government when we're dealing with presidents and all of that. How are we going to get them? Because our vote doesn't count now anyway. It's the electoral. So what do we vote for when it comes to the president? Besides just the show, and for them to play on our emotions, for them to utilize us to fight against each other. See, the government loves division. The government loves division, so it works in their favor when we arguing over Republican and Democrat. Because now we fighting each other over some dumb mess, right? Some dumb ish that is not beneficial for us, and we're distracted so that they can, make all their moves, behind closed doors. So I think it's a lot of things that we need to change. We need to adjust. We need to come together as a collective, as a people, so that the future for our children will be better. But I think for sure I could be a better president than any president that has lived, or anyone who's been in office during my time of being on this earth. I see so many flaws in every president, and I could go through each one and name some of them. But we definitely would be better off with me being president, and that's sad to say because I'm not a politician. But I know what's good for the people, and it's not really hard to know what's good for the people. People need to have better opportunities at making money. The big companies need to stop being bailed out and everything, all the weight being put on the small businessman. The small businessman gets no help, no assistance, but yet the big rich companies, Fortune 500 companies, can get all the assistance and bailouts and help. But if you're someone who, like me, who started your business, you're small, company, I mean, you don't really get too much assistance. I think the money that they send out to other countries could be helping people towards starting businesses, which will create more jobs. I think we just got a lot of stuff that is not playing in the benefit for the country as a whole, only for those who have power and those who are rich. So me personally, I don't think America is just so great of a country. I had the opportunity to lead the country for the first time when I was about 11 to 12 years old, and from then, my mind has always known that America is not the best country, because when I was able to go to this other country and experience the people and experience what they value more so than money, which was the family and friends, the love amongst people. Yeah, I mean, that was like a drug that it can never be duplicated or synthesized by man. The feeling that you would get, that's something that has to come organic through the people who are created by the creator himself, right? And to feel that, it felt so good. It's a high that I've never been able to just feel again at that capacity, if that makes sense. But me, again, I don't think America's so great. I think America's all right in certain areas, but things that really matter most, we're far from the best. You know, I think our people are brainwashed to be patriotic and to think, oh, America's just so great, defend everything that America does. When America's wicked, come on, tell me the World Trade Center, come on, fam. We know that that was our own people, man. Come on. So they willing to risk the lives of their own citizens. That's like killing your own children just so you can benefit with power or money. Yeah, let me put a life insurance policy on my daughter and figure out a way to where I can take her out so that I can benefit from the insurance policy. That's what America does to us, fam. It's just time to wake up, man. Anybody who on what I'm on, I'm gonna always say this, man. Get with me. Let's get together. Let's come together as a collective and brainstorm to see what we can do. We can't save the whole country because it's a lot of, I hate to say it, but a lot of dummies, a lot of people who still sleep and they don't want to be woke. When you start shaking their body, they gonna give you that, "No, leave me alone." They cool with staying inside a burning house. So we can't save everybody, but those who are like me, who are willing to come together as a collective and brainstorm, let's get together. But again, America is not all that, fam. You know, thank you. It is. You think it's great, man, and name the reasons why in the comments. I'm all open ears. But man, hopefully I said something that can kind of trigger the thinking process. So that way you can start thinking about your environment that you're living in right now, as far as what we call and deem as a country, and be able to look at where it could be some improvements, and maybe you could think of some things that you can do on a small on a what would they consider it, a micro or macro level, to make some adjustments and some changes for the better, man. But that being said, man, I love those who love me. I love us. Put your hate down, pick your love up, and always give esteem to the creator. And with that being said, I'm out.